day in Los Angeles, and by Los Angeles, I mean Seattle. Make myself slightly more comfortable. I thought about it for a second. I'm just not digging the outfit. Okay. Okay. So once again, I am right in front of the fire department because I am unhoused again. I don't know why, but Seattle has no beds available for veterans. So obviously, I'm not going to go to sleep because, I'm here by myself in the middle of nowhere and, I'm pretty. So I'm going to be staying up for a bit. I fell asleep so hard in the library. It's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing and psychologically damaging what the United Kingdom did to me by denying my ability to roam free in my own fucking country of the United Kingdom. I am stuck here because I paid for a hotel, I paid for housing, and I didn't get my money back. I didn't get my money back because they said, if you were turned down, you don't get your money back. Like that's not fair. At the very least, the Home Office should say, well, we the bill because, we robbed you. Effectively, some North Irish man has my money and I don't have my money, so you rob me. So legally, I have no other recourse but to sue the United Kingdom's government to get my money back, which of course costs money. But I'm just going to file anyway because they should have given me my money back. Because they were sending me back to a country that actively sexually harassed me. When you follow a disabled American veteran into the restroom to harass him, that torture. That's absolute torture. Now you might say, oh, we're protecting you in the long run. Well, thank us because you always think that you're not safe in the bathroom. You're never going to be safe in a public bathroom. I'm like, okay, well, could you make public bathrooms safe instead of making them unsafe on purpose? What is going on with America that they would rather sexually harass me than address the crimes that they didn't orchestrate themselves? America is a terrible fucking country because they torture people. And they torture everyday citizens. And we, for the most part, ignore it because sometimes you're aware of it and sometimes you're not. I mean, when someone tells you no for certain things, you're supposed to let it, roll off your shoulder and, deal with it. I spent hours at the center. I did my laundry. I took a shower. I got a brand new outfit. So I'm looking fresh and it's clean-ish. Clean. Kind of. Hello there, English cowboy. Hello there, Matt. Mark. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the revolution. I'm having a bitch of a day. Just a bitch of a day because I've spent hours with these people and they kept telling me, I just wait a little bit longer, a bit longer. And then they finally said, oh, we got a message back, there's no base. And it's, how much money do you make here? How much money do you make? Ah, sorry about that. I don't know why YouTube just likes to censor me when I talk about how much money did they spend on that stupid sports stadium that they can't afford an extra bedroll or just a line drawing on the fucking floor in marker that says, you sleep here, dummy. Now, granted, this is the strangest rent control department I ever did see because I am literally in front of the fire department. But yeah, how the fuck do I describe what I just saw? How the fuck do I describe what I just saw? Okay, so basically, I'm homeless. I am for the next 10 days. I'm homeless for the next 2 days. This guy that walked past me, behind me, he fucking took a bush, ripped it out of the ground, and he's gonna use it as a pillow. I'm all for finding your root. I'm all for discovering who you are inside and all that hippy dippy mumbo bullshit. But if you have to do that in the modern age, you gotta wonder. You just gotta wonder. Are you sure this is the right place for you? Are you sure? Because I love how Seattle is walking that fine line of, this is indigenous ground. This is indigenous ground. I like the library, but the library is like, this is indigenous ground. You should know that. And I say, okay, okay. Um, what exactly does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Because if it means that the laws are a little bit different there, I guess it must be because I swear God, I fell asleep. I fell asleep in the middle of the library and these people let me sleep past closing time. Like everybody had left. Everybody had left and I'm just because I'm exhausted because I have to be like awake during the day and shuffle to these appointments that make no sense. Like I don't understand. Like this guy went to medical school and he told me, "Oh yeah, if you want to get housing, then what you need to do is go to the mental health section and they'll refer you to people who do the housing." And it's just I went to this mental health and I stood in line for 2 hours, sat down, fell asleep again. Instantly, some woman appeared in front of me and she's like, "Oh, do you need help with your mental health?" I'm like, "No, I just want housing." And she goes, "Oh, okay, then it's this form right here." And then I like, "Okay, well, do I go to the emergency room and I take this to referral?" It's like, "No, just flip it over the directions." I'm like, I had to go back downtown. Why in the world did I even come to VA? Why would you tell me to come to the VA when I could have just gone downtown? Because I'm already downtown. Like, I used a bus pass for this, you fucker. I used a bus pass for this. Granted, Seattle is so weird that, for the most part, they're like, just sit down, just sit down. Don't even show me the bus pass, just sit down. Like, okay, I'm not argue with him, but, you want to do things properly. You want to set a good example. You want people to be encouraged to be parted from their money. I get it. But there's a difference between being parted of your money and, dude, you're sleeping on the fucking plank of wood. I'm sleeping on a plank of wood, as my ancestors did, technically. But I'm not surrounded by my clan. I'm not surrounded by my tribe. I know Seattle talks a big game about very pull you up, the tribe, the tribe, the energy. You say, okay, that's for people who are specifically of the same family. Like, you're all cousins of each other, pretty much. Now, I am related to them, but by very, very loose terms because a lot of people had to fuck to make it all the way to South America where I'm from. I'm a South American. Hi there. Hi there. I'm a South American. I'm a Brit and a South American and apparently American all at the same time. North American. Which is super fucking confusing because I don't fit in anywhere or anything. I think I would fit in Brazil because I don't know. They kind of look like me, think like me, move like me. It just seems right that I'm a little closer to them than I am to northern indigenous people. So why is my hair so messy with the beard? I cannot fix this beard. Sorry. I look like some Colombian or something. Ooh. I can't say it like that. Ooh. But no, I, I look Central American. I don't know. What's this? I thought I talked about this class. Ugh. I don't know. I'm not going to win any fashion awards for what they had. I'm lucky they had what I asked for, which was a shirt. They gave me two shirts, so I'm gonna have to turn the other one inside out because it's like graffitied or load on or something like that. I don't do that. I haven't checked this one like it doesn't seem like it has a logo on it, which I like. I like the idea of being unbranded. I like the idea that clothes are just window dressing from me, my soul. I don't like the whole, you say the word on your chest or something like that, or on your hat. When it's if the craftsmanship is there, you know who it is. That's the difference. Sometimes they make whole textiles out of the designer name, which I appreciate if it's really, really well done. Really, really well done. But maybe I have more of a discerning eye where I say I actually like the older versions of embroidery and draping and cut and style because that was artistry technique. It wasn't marketing over technique. I was talking about how I am currently homeless. That like the only difference between that takes my breath away. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's just it's weird. I like the idea that I'm spending my night right by the water. The air is so fresh and delicious because all the tourists have to walk a little bit faster because they're scared. I'm scared. So there's not much drug use here. There's a slight breeze. The air is moist. It's going to be super cold by morning, as it always is. But for right now, it's kind of nice. The only problem is, it's not like I can guzzle an entire liter of water by myself without feeling slightly scared to use the public restroom. It's a lot nicer than the restroom that in the shelter because, those people do not aim. I guess that's why I'm where I am right now because I got a lot of comments from the bloke who was with me and luckily, we both picked up on the same vibe. It's like, no, good man. We're not. We're not. We're trying to force it because, we're both in this horrible situation and, we want to be whatever. But he called me a princess and a So yeah, I was talking about how he called me a princess and prima donna, and my thing is, and what, do you expect me to fucking deny it? Homeless for 10 more days and then I go back my couture outfits. Like, it's unfortunate that the Brits are so fucking petty they would rob me, but in 10 days I'll just buy a brand new outfit and then walk the streets of Seattle one more time, but in a complete couture outfit. So if you're calling me a princess and prima donna, it's because I am royalty. So I don't take that as a put down. I take that as a, so you actually see me then. So you know my worth. Because sometimes I forget my worth. And I think that's the life lesson I'm supposed to get from being robbed by another country, was that it's not about money. Money comes and goes. I guess that's a very English way to look at it. You know, money comes and goes. But if you know true value, and I have to say it this way, I have to say it this way because I'm so hurt right now. I'm so hurt. But when the country that's no has to send you a message, it says you can no longer use the EDA. If you come here, then you should use the creative visa, which costs more money. But then again, if it's a creative visa, you would have to sell tickets. And if you sold tickets, it would pay for that. And then it would also tell you you're selling tickets. So if you raise the price of tickets, you would actually get more. Or you could even have more than one concert or whatever. And I don't know. I guess I have to sell tickets in the United Kingdom. Why are you hurt? I'm hurt because I have PTSD from military sexual trauma. So almost every time I have to talk to a woman, I am reminded of it. And I had to speak to this one who was, I'm not going to say she's bending over backwards to help me because it's literally her job to help me. But she has to sit there while I'd say women are sexual predators, women are monsters, women are rapists. That's what I experience. And she has to take it and not react and not say, that's sorry, that's terrible that you feel that way. I'm not like that. She didn't try to defend it whatsoever. She had to just take the truth of what happened to me. And, she did say, I'm sorry that that happened to you, which I don't know if she means it. I don't know. And I don't care. It's just, I'm never going to be able to track down one of these women who abused me and say, can you show up to the police so the police can explain to you that you don't harass another American citizen that way in a sexually aggressive manner? Because I'm placed in this situation because the moment that comes out of my mouth, the whole "we're no sexual predators, man," I don't have to say it that way because it is so fucking leftist and hippie to even say stuff like that because most women aren't. Most women aren't. But then I'm in this position where every time I have a conversation with a woman, it almost always goes into this weird, creepy vibe. And my takeaway from that is, well, if I don't like it being done to me, then I won't do that to other people. And I was going to say, I was thinking on the bus that I was going to have a whole conversation about the idea of sexual aggression versus, you got game. What I mean by you got game is if you are a guy and you, maybe the word should be just manipulation. You manipulate people to think you're charismatic, think you're funny, you tell the right jokes, and you may or may not get someone to bed that way. That is fucking charm. Like, unless someone explicitly says no or stop or whatever, if that person's just feeling your Yeah, so I'm trying to say, so yeah, if you're feeling someone's vibe and they're being a little bit manipulative. I cannot speak. I cannot. And you have a good time. You have genuinely good time. You're laughing. You have sex, and it was decent sex. Guess what? I don't think you've been hurt. I don't think you've been hurt. I don't. Some people look at it and go, "Oh, well, I thought we were going to do more than we were going to do." It's just like, well, yeah, that's on you. That's on you. But if you take it for what it is, for one day you were the star of the show, you got a lovely performance made for you, and you got your jollies, which you weren't going to get any other day. Guess what? I almost want to say, please enjoy it, enjoy that. There's a give and take with that. There's a certain understanding. You got to be in the right mindset to experience something like that and say, I'll just go with the flow. Me personally, when some grandma puts her hand underneath my clothes, I don't look at that and say, hey, baby, what you doing later? It's like, I'm not going to feel that. I feel grossed out. I feel grossed out when a woman from the front of the train comes to the back of the train to the disabled section to put hands underneath my clothes. I know America was really trying to teach me a lesson of please don't take your clothes and put them, behind you or things like that. You're going to be riding on your rail. So they're just train pockets. Like you literally have to like hold your wallet and your cell phone like this. And even then, it's like not guaranteed. These people are trained. Like they train all their lives to be pickpockets. And I'm not trying to be that rude to people of Europe. But if you didn't have pickpockets, you wouldn't invent little fanny packs and shoulder sashes that you have to hide under three fucking layers of clothes. Okay, so we'll call it what it is. And I get it. I get that America is like, we know that you hate us. We know that you hate us. But before you leave, can we at least make you aware of how terrible it is out there? And I say, yeah, it is terrible. It is terrible. It's where I'm from. I've only known pain and heartache living in America. I have never known the gentle touch and sweet conversation of my own people. Never. Never have I had someone invite me over to take tea with them. Invited me over, just sit in the garden and look flowers. That's what I want. That's I mean that's not all I want to be the number one energy consultant and renewable energy policymaker, and I want the ability to vote in British elections. So yeah, I can't just let it go. Not when I can make such a great change for the better of two countries at the same exact time. Three technically, but we're not going to go into that. So I have to fill out so much paperwork, so much paperwork. Matt Black, are you gay? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I really don't because I've had so many PTSD triggers that I don't really even feel like man. I don't even feel like man because I never get to talk to guys. I never get to talk to guys. My natural alpha instinct to be like, hey, baby, like all of that is just gone. Just gone. It's like unsex me here. Now I understand that being that sexually aggressive is such a fucking waste of time because most of the time you just picking up the fucking trash. You're picking up the dregs of society. It's just wasting your talent. I get it, like you should be looking for quality partners, not just dumb people you can fucking hypnotize with your hips. I get it on a certain level, but yet still, um, I don't know why I'm having so many troubles with so many. Oh fuck me! I don't know why it's so difficult to use YouTube. Legitimately, every single time I try and talk about how it affects life, YouTube is like, yawn, yawn. I'm like, okay, well, I still have to talk about it because I'm I'm not having a life. I'm having just weird things of I was almost turned on by a homeless man eating a banana because he was just so gung ho about it. He like stuck it all down his throat. He didn't bring it back up, so I guess he doesn't have a gag reflex. But anyway, he did it like right in front of me on the bus, and I was like, I don't know. It was kind of sexual, but I don't know. It's I just don't know. I just don't know. It's like, are you gay? What does that even mean? What does that even mean when you're psychologically damaged? What does that mean when you have PTSD? Because I don't know how to feel about it. I don't. I just don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I talked on here about how my sister said you want to go to Europe to have, a little matchmaker. Like, no, not exactly. I want to go to Europe because you want to speak to attractive people. You want to speak to brilliant people. You want to speak to just nice, friendly, easygoing people. And that's not all of Europe. Most of Europe is pretty standoffish and pretty, hey, you're a neighbor, I guess, but we don't really know you, so fuck off. And that's okay too. But I'd like to think that I might go on a date. I might have funny flirtation, just a touch of a hand, a caress on the cheek, just small little things, small, small things that I don't get it. I don't. I had this guy who was homeless, and I was homeless, and he robbed my back. He robbed my back. He's like, oh, and I don't know. I don't want to be rude, but it's in 10 days I am out of here, and I don't know. Seattle was trying to say, hey, if you want to do a lecture series here, you might actually get paid to be an instructor here in Seattle. Maybe. Maybe not paid is the right word. It would be funded. But I don't know if I can stay here. I just don't like cities. It's not who I am. I'm the person who says if I had a neighbor that was a kilometer away, I would walk it. If I had a neighbor that was 3 kilometers away, I'd walk it. I would write and sing and hop and dance. And I'm European and South American. I like the idea of long walks. I like the idea of being in nature. I like the idea of having a bunch of people in my life who feel the same exact way, who say, let's just do picnics. Let's pack a sandwich here, some cheese. Well, I can't have cheese, but It's rough. It really is because I miss so many years of terrible, terrible first dates and some okay first dates and just surprising first kisses, waking up to someone, having breakfast in bed, cooking someone breakfast in bed. I've missed all of this. Now, understandably, that wasn't with a partner, that wasn't with someone who I'm with right now, but I've missed the chance to even go through the motions. People always complain about, well, I didn't find the love of my life. But sometimes the loves along the way are special, different, unique, and reveal a side to you that you didn't know you had before. A nurturing side, the need to protect someone, the need to show someone that you care, bring out romantic, make you write poetry, that kind of love. And I don't experience any of it. I have PTSD. So go back to your room. That's the prevailing theme of my life the past 10 years. 10 years have just about gone by. 10 years. I'm just going to call it 10 years. It's 8, but it's 10 years. 10 years. 10 years of no dates. Sure, I had sex every once in a while at the beginning, and it was good sex. It was really good sex. Really, really good sex. But now, I love how throughout the conversation I had with this person at the bedside, they were like, "Do you want to talk to someone more about your mental health?" And the mental health person, "Do you want to talk to someone about mental health?" I'm like, no, no, I want sexual healing. I want to feel the love and support of another man after experiencing nothing but sexual harassment from females. That's what I want. I'm not expecting that man and I to, spend the rest of our lives together because admittedly that's not how I think about love. But I want to feel something deeper with a man than hellos or whatever. Now, granted, I don't even speak to men. Like, if I wasn't homeless in this situation, I would have gone without speaking to a man. I know I was kind of crushing on that Sam guy back in that last time, but the dude was a fucking alcoholic. I can say this now. I mean, and he knows he's an alcoholic. He sings about beer. He, he knows. He knows. But that was it. That was the only guy I talked to. There are other guys who kind of tried, but I, I wasn't feeling the vibe. And I know that I'm being somewhat stupid because the guys who I'm really attracted to live in America. If I'm being nice, they live here in America. Like blue collar guys, like country guys, like cowboys, like cowboys. Uh, but I just don't want to date someone who wants to drive a big truck for no other reason than, I like the sound it makes. I like the way it makes me feel. As much as I might be attracted to that kind of person, I don't find that way of thinking attractive. I like the way of thinking of we like to bicycle ride, we like to walk, we like to take a boat and just row it through the canals. We just have a slower pace, and that's where I want to be. I want to be in Europe. I want to be that person who guides them through this crisis of it's so damn hot, so damn hot. Ah." When you really want to tell them, well, get out the fucking car. It's hot because you still use cars to go around, and it's too hot for that now. It's like, do you realize that you're still living lives as if you're in the forest? You're not in the forest anymore. You live in the desert. You may not think that you're in sub-Saharan, but you are Saharan now. You're the new Sahara. The Sahara moved. I don't think Europe has catched on. They go about their day. They don't realize they live in a desert because summer's brutal, but the rest of it is kind of fine. The winters are pretty harsh too. So I don't know. I I just have to get out of here. I can't do it. I can't do it next month, unfortunately, because I'm so fucking broke. So next month I have to spend it resting and recuperating, which means I may have to spend another month in Seattle. It's fucks off. Because it'll be another month technically of you're homeless, displaced. And this woman, oh my god, she's trying to fucking upsell me on are you sure you don't want like a veteran home right now? And it's just like, do you see my face? Beat for the fuck gods. Do you see the cheekbones? What part of that says I want to play shuffleboard with people from the World War II era? Now, granted, if they asked me if you want to play shuffleboard with someone from the World War II era, I get it. I would totally get it. But they don't request me to be there, and I shouldn't be there. I really shouldn't because they can enjoy that, and I can just bug off to Europe. But if I truly have to be here another month, I'm not going to spend my money on a fucking hotel. So I would have to fucking pay for that. Just to say, look, I'm in a place where it's maybe less likely for things to go horribly wrong, but it's cheap, sort of. I don't know. I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm not a city person. And I miss my service animals so much. I miss my service animals because it was so much easier to do things with them. So much easier to navigate with them. And they just understood me on a deeper level. They just got into the vibe of me. And there was no talking to people. Why would you need to talk to people? You could talk to dogs. And I just want to talk to dogs. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to deal with people, which is terrible because I'm always trying to be humanitarian, but I want to be humanitarian that is an animal expert and just, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just upset. I'm just upset. And I'm tired. And I'm just so exhausted. And I want to go to sleep, but it's like, how do you sleep when you're living straight? I mean, it's true. You're probably not going to have as many crazy, wild people. The worst I get is homeless people come up to me to say, You gotta smoke. You got smoke on you. I'm like, I'm a slave. So, if a cigarette magically materializes into my hand, I'll give you one because I don't smoke. But until then, fuck off. Which, how to win friends and distract homeless people. I think that was the name of the book I read. I don't know how to fuck people. I just, this isn't my scene. This isn't my world. I'm a magical person living in a town that is it's just not me. It's just not me. I'm magical. Hello again, Leona. What am I supposed to do? Like, document this for my own history. Document this detour that I was forced on. Now, obviously, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to try and learn and grow and whatnot. But just, just don't want to do. Just don't want to do. You know, I don't know how to fucking feel about this because it impresses upon me the idea of, don't you realize you're supposed to have friends? And I say, I guess, but um, once you pass the age of maybe 13, there are no more opportunities to make friends. You might people who you're friendly with, but the idea that, you would find someone who's instant bestie, you call them up at 3 a.m., whatever the issue is, that they'll show up. That takes an extraordinary amount of time and trust and support to build to that. You're not going to find that when you're older. You're just not. You're going to find people who you're friendly with, that kind of thing. That is rare. Rare. Look, if I end up going backpacking through Europe, I might find people who I backpack with, I laugh and have a good time with, but, you know, um, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna think that this person is gonna remember me 30 years down the line or anything like that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Either way, I'll drop the kids off at the pool at that private bathroom. So yeah, I'm still bleeding from the anus. Thank you so much, Seattle, for giving me the worst food ever that my body literally broke itself. And then using some random woman to scare me in the middle of having a medical emergency, causing me to bleed from my anus. And I'm still bleeding from my anus right now. So, yeah. Remind me again why I'm supposed to be a gregarious person that has a conversation in the middle of a line to get medicine at the pharmacy. Remind me. Remind me why you think I want to talk to you after dealing with all that. Now, granted, it did prove what I already knew that it's extremely easy to bend someone to have a conversation when you're in a rush to do something else, to fill the space, fill the time, to fill the void. So good to know. Good to know. I still prefer books and talking to dogs than actually using those kind of skills. But if you want to, good for you. Just go off. just miserable right now. I'm just miserable and in pain. I'm in so much pain. And I can't even have this pain privately. I can't even have this pain in a nice hotel room where I can just cry because the bowel movement is just painful. And I wish I could just do that privately instead of having to go into a public bathroom and cover my mouth because I'm biting my skin to stop from screaming because it's so painful and there's so much blood. And we wouldn't have been in this situation if it hadn't been for being tortured by my own government while trying to serve. We wouldn't be in this conversation if some dumb kid hadn't tried a great for my service animals, forcing me to give them up. So yeah, I'm not one conversation with random people. I know that they mean well. I mean they right. So I know they mean well when they, you know, parade pretty people in front of me, or not even pretty people, but like slutty people that are kind of sexy ugly in front of me. Because I'm like, Asha, you just want to take it off. You want to like wallow in mediocrity of life sometimes. As be a king queen of the fucking dirt. That's what it means to be a rock star. It's just like you pretty much own your own shit. But I'm just so miserable. I'm just so miserable all the time. And it's not an attractive thing to be someone who whines all the time, who's just upset. I get that. I get that. But does America understand that I don't really want to bleed from the anus? And they made me bleed from the anus. And I have to literally go to Switzerland and say, hey, remember me? Remember that human rights case? Well, I'm here to actually talk to you about that again because it's continuing, it's continuing, it's continuing. And I need some assurance that you're going to actually put economic sanctions on the United States and say they do business with them, then it costs more. It's not the same validation as having a war crime tribunal against the United States military and the reign of terror on their own American citizens. It would be something if Switzerland and other countries said, you know what, American goods, we import them a little cheaper and, we sell our stuff a little bit higher. Yeah. Call it the Ileana tax, the Ileana tariff. But the message has been sent into the universe that you don't do what you're doing to people. You don't. Like, whatever you think that you're doing, just stop. Like, I want to have this conversation with America's government and just say, could you just stop? Could you just stop? I'm already living the worst life ever. I have to fall asleep in the library. I have to take a shower in somebody's office building. It's degrading. It's already degrading. There are people taking pictures all around. Like, can we take a family photo? I'm like, I'm not your family. I'm a homeless person with bags. You want me in your photo? It's like gross. And the only recourse is, well, you don't have to be where these people are taking photos. I say, well, yeah, where would I sleep? Where would I sleep? Because I have to sleep directly in front of the Seattle Fire Department right there. That's it. That's it. Because any other place, you just have danger all around. I needed this holiday. I needed this holiday. I needed to take a break and just say, hello, good morning. I need space today. I need to stay in today. I I'm sorry I don't know you. Okay, maybe I'll go out for a little bit. I needed space to do that. I needed space to just try anything new, and start over fresh where I didn't have this kind of issue, which may follow me there. It may, but now I'll never know. Now I'll never know. Because if I have to go to the United Kingdom and say, "Will you buy tickets to my show?" that already puts me in a different fucking atmosphere than I know. Look, I wasn't going to be a tourist. I was going to be a nerdy geek that would sit in the library and research Excalibur because I was going to find it. But that's just me. That's just me. I would rather spend my holiday traveling throughout Great Britain looking for Excalibur than go to any of the tourist destinations. I don't know. I find that thing kind of cool. But now where was I? So now I'm upset because I'm putting off going to the bathroom because I'm bleeding, and not because I was super slut and had a gangbang. Perish the thought I actually did get some. No, it's because the food here was terrible and my bowels are impacted by that. And I don't know why, but the cute homeless guy decided to do a strange pantomime of a hemorrhoid, I think. I don't know if I was picking up the vibe of what that message was on what I can only describe as West Coast Mad Libs, but yeah, that was kind of weird. I gotta be brave, get this done, and not go sleep, but just curl up in the fetal position in front of the fire department, and I hope I don't pass out for pain. With me, Lock, I'm going to shit some more blood. Thank you. See you. I'm Ian Ileana. I'm an environmentalist. I'm a human rights activist. I'm a mutant of wealth. I'm a veteran with PTSD from military sexual trauma. I'm not getting it better. Uh, love is a very strong word. I don't think I'm going to find love again in my life. I was very lucky to find something close to love once upon a time. Once upon a time. But right now, I'm just looking for someone who wants to take adventure with me, wants to watch the sunrise, the sunset, hold hands, look each other's eyes, just give me a hand squeeze every now and then. Just, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I don't want to rely on someone. I just want someone to be in my life who I could trust for a little bit. Not the way, but now I'm just in a position where that's so hard. Well, assuming that things heal, it'll be at least 3 to 6 months before I can let anyone in that love canal, or at least let someone finger it while I pound their love canal. So this will start with good conversation skills. Practice that small talk, or just think about what vibrator I will fucking pick up. Which one from my favorite porn stars? Because I just don't know. I have it in me to be a social person. I'm trying to go back to school, but I'm also very seduced by the idea of spending a year off just ignoring people, being alone like I want for a year. And I would learn so much more. But take a year off, I don't know. I have 10 days to make some decisions. I don't know how to feel about any of it. I don't. I I mean, I want to help people with my humanitarian ideas because no matter where you go, there's always something fundamentally wrong with that area. And if you could fix it, fix it. But yeah, I want to be a bit selfish. I just want the idea of getting a record player and buying some vinyls. Just sit, listen to music, and not have to think about anything, talk to anyone, do anything. Just be present in that moment. I think that's what I need. I just I have to slow down a bit. I have to. The city just makes me so impatient, and I want to rush, and I want to leave, and I want to run away. But it's it's something. It's hard to even describe. I have to do what's best for me, and I'll figure it out. The decision is always changeable until you come to the right one for you, and then you have to accept it. So I will see all of you on the next podcast right after I shed some blood here in Seattle. Yeah, shitty fucking day, shitty fucking week, shitty fucking everything. And my stomach hurts and I'm upset, so can't put it off. Can't put it off. It's really painful. It is really painful. This is torture. This is torture by the American government. Like my body is damaged by the American government, and I have to find a human rights lawyer to say this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. My health is impacted by the poor decisions of my government and then their ongoing meddling in my life. It's like if you want to give me public relations training for a career of celebrity, which I'm never going to reach because I'm a nerd and I would rather be a nerd, then why do you do it? Why? I'm very content being a nerd. I have my rock star moments, but I like being a nerd. I like being weird and quirky and generally uninteresting to most people. Okay. You know, you've unlocked a secret level when you're scared to go to the loo or whatever. I will see you on the next podcast. Take that, YouTube.